First, I need to distinguish what we mean when we talk about made in Nigeria, because a number of people just think it's about wearing the kind of clothes I wear. I mean, it's much more detailed than that. And if you look at the program we ran, well, there is a focus on what does a macroeconomic environment that will allow for production to be effective and to be efficient and to be competitive in Nigeria. What are the infrastructural requirements that we need to ensure that whatever it is that our manufacturers do in Nigeria is of a high standard, required standard, and it's competitive? How can we ensure that we have the requisite laws that will enable businesses and ensure that all the multiplicity of laws and all the duplications we have, we can streamline them and make our environment very friendly and competitive? How can we ensure that our cost system, adjudication and co, is made much more efficient? How do we ensure that ease of remittances and transfers of funds, those are the things we talked about precisely, because we believe that these are critical things that must be in place before any campaign about producing in Nigeria, loving what we eat in Nigeria, making whatever we have in Nigeria of standard, can make it work. I tell people, every consumer is a rational being. You want maximum value for whatever money you own. So if you go to the market and you have two products to choose from, it doesn't matter whether it's made in Nigeria or not. You first choose the one that gives you the maximum value. So the issues we are asking, therefore, is that what do we need to do to make our local manufacturers and producers competitive? How can we help them? So those are the issues that we considered at the summit, and those are the issues we're taking forward. I mean, at the macroeconomic level, you recall that we talked about the need for us to have a coordinated policy, and I'm aware that government is already taking that on, and Mr. President alluded to that to say, look, what are the policies we have that will take us out of recession, that the whole nation can say it's our policy, be you federal, be you state, be you legislature. One thing that we're all committed at doing, what is it we need to do? And I know that work is ongoing on that. When the president talked about the project presentation, he alluded to that fact. And I believe that the total, the whole Nigerians will know about it within the next 2 weeks to about. That will set the framework of what exactly we want to do. And that will make international capital to say, okay, fine, they have a policy program that we can relate to. But having said that, you recognize again that the president of the Senate has been doing a lot, and we have a work with them around the area of National Assembly Business Roundtable about those priority bills that must become acts. And I give you a very simple illustration. Sometimes when you import goods into this country, it is cheaper to bring that good to Lagos port than transferring from Lagos to Kano. The cost you incur moving from Lagos to Kano is a lot more expensive than what you use to even bring it to Nigeria. Why? Because of the state of disrepair of our road, because of the repair of our infrastructure. So how do we have an infrastructural master plan, a transport mode that speaks to each other? These are all the issues that the National Assembly is looking at the laws. They are looking at CAMA, they are looking at customs. A number of things have been done. And if you heard the President of the National Assembly, the Senate President, when he was receiving Mr. President, he had said these priority bills too, they intend to make them come into law almost immediately when the budget is being released. So what have we been doing? We've been working with all of these arms since the last summit. Since the last summit, it's been engagement with respective ministries, with interface with the national assemblies to ensure that this grand work is done. Because unless this is done, we won't move anywhere. So, made in Nigeria is beyond just a mantra of love it. No, you must make the environment good for the people who produce here. And it's a lot factor. Because I tell you, if the environment is not good for those who produce here, foreigners are likely going to come. I've listed those items. The environment for doing business must always be right. Government should realize the fact that government can't do business. They don't even have the resources. But they must have an environment that makes capital to come to them. Policies must be consistent. There should not be flip-flopping, right? And government should walk the talk. If we say we want people to patronize, to love what we eat, and produce what they, President uses slang for it. Produce what you eat or eat what you produce. It must start from the leadership down, both at the executive level, at the legislature, even at the judiciary, down to the private people.